What's up guys, Everything Apple Pro here, and it's that time of year again. Time to compare every model of the iPhone ever made in an ultimate speed, camera, and everything else comparison. It's almost hard to believe that it's been 10 years since the original has been released. Time really does fly.
You'll know how incredible this is. I hope you never really know, because it's bad out there today.
This year, our new arrivals are the iPhone 8, iPhone 8 Plus, and the missing iPhone 10, which I'll have to make an amended video for, but for the time being, I'll do it with these. So these guys are great. I've been using my new 8 Plus. It's a fantastic device, incredibly fast, great cameras. I'm excited to see how it compares to the rest. Also, iOS 11 is new. So this is a massive update, riddled with bugs upon release, but overall feature-packed and pretty cool. Apple had good intentions with this one. We'll have to see how it runs on the older devices, and this video really will give us that comparison and perspective. So this is the difference 10 years makes. We've got glass versus aluminum. Overall design is the same on these. Most of the changes are going to be happening on the inside. Apple has just been killing it with the processors. The new iPhone is 150 times faster than the original. That is insane to think about that in just 10 years, your phones have gotten 150 times faster. And that's definitely not to say that other things haven't changed. For example, the displays have gotten much bigger, much sharper. The new True Tone display technology is pretty dang cool. Your phone doesn't look so icy blue anymore. And overall, this is our entire lineup. This is the 10-year span that Apple has been making iPhones. It's a bit staggering working with 17 phones for this video. So this took a gargantuan effort of editing and filming to make this happen, not to mention all of the devices themselves. But I'm excited to see how do these compare in a speed test comparison. So we're going to be starting off with something a little bit more simple, something that may not matter to you guys as much, but I wanted to see out of all of these devices, which one turns on the fastest. So I know we don't really turn on our devices that often, but when you do, and you're in a pinch, you need to make a phone call or something, which one will be there for you first? So first off, I just wanted to mention that powering these things on, I can't even do the slide to unlock shot anymore. That was so famous in my earlier videos, but no matter, I still had to make it work somehow. That will be coming back with the iPhone 10 anyways. So I actually had to buy a 20 USB port adapter just to make this startup happen, but anyways, we're off here, and as close to synchronized as possible. We've got them entirely lined up here. This is based on release schedule, so from the oldest to the newest on the right. Notice the weird flashing iOS 11 does for some reason, but we've got a winner already, the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus series. They are incredibly fast, followed by the 6S Plus, 7, 6S, SE, and the iPhone 7 Plus. So I've got a little waiting period here until the next one. Which one will be the number 6? It's got to be one of the newer devices, right? Well, the oldest iPhone original model actually came in next, then the iPhone 6 series, then the iPhone 3GS, the iPhone 5C strangely, which beat out the iPhone 5, and then followed by the iPhone 4, iPhone 5, and the 5S soon after that. Very interesting. Then the iPhone 3G, and hey, guess who's last? You knew you shouldn't have updated your 4S. Yes, it is the slowest of all of these on the iOS 9 update. All right, so that is the startup test. The 4S is the loser here, with the new 8 and 8 Plus being the winners. Next up, let's go ahead and take a look at some benchmarks. And this is getting very hard to display, so I had to improvise, give you a perspective graph here. These are with the exact values input. The iPhone 8 Plus doesn't make as big of a difference as you would think in the single core score versus the 7, but the multi-core is almost double. That's just crazy. Man, Apple has got this processor game locked down. Can't wait to see what's next. So this is the oldest versus the newest. What a world of difference, right? Next up are the Antutu benchmarks, which do take into account the GPU as well. We've got a very nice results here. Interestingly enough, the 6S and 7 were pretty much the same there. Now moving on to the HTML5 compatibility test for the Safari browser, just one I like to throw in here. A pretty linear result. iOS 11 is the same on all devices. And with all app switchers cleared, I wanted to run a synchronized opening of the camera application happening now. The iPhone 8 and 8 Plus weren't first, beat out by the Jewel, the iPhone SE. So there is the speed portion of this video, but I didn't want to end it there. Of course, the newer iPhones were faster, but surprisingly, iOS 11 did significantly slow down a lot of the existing iPhones. So you shouldn't always update just right away. Anyways, I wanted to continue this video and do several other tests like a sound output test. The iPhones have gotten rid of the headphone jack, but in its place they have some incredible stereo speakers. So in decibels, I went ahead and measured the sound output of all of these speakers on the iPhones, and of course the newer iPhones were louder. Apple was not kidding. The iPhone 8 and 8 Plus are so incredibly booming, the best speakers I've ever heard on a smartphone. And next, a heat output test on the hottest point of the iPhone during Antutu benchmarks, a time when the iPhone really struggles. The iPhone 7 and 7 Plus were the hottest of the bunch, with the 8 and 8 Plus coming just behind. And a test I just recently started, the Touch ID unlock speed test. Even though Touch ID hasn't really gotten better since the iPhone 6s, still like to see, and the new iPhone 8 was first, followed by the 7 Plus and the iPhone 8 Plus. Speed of animations is a key factor here as well. If Apple got rid of that, they'd be much faster in general. So next up, cameras. Oh boy, I'm so excited to show you this one. It's hard to believe that with old iPhones, we would take pictures of this caliber. Wow, that's just terrible. But it started slowly getting better, especially in low light. Apple started focusing on that with larger apertures on the iPhone. You can make out more detail, more color in this sign, especially on the 8 and 8 Plus. Wow, it is just incredible what kind of detail you can get from that. In actual comparison with the original iPhone, wow, what a difference. I was stunned when I saw this. 5 megapixels versus 12 with huge improvements on the low light. Now, directly comparing the first video-capable iPhone, the 3GS, with the iPhone 8 Plus, in low light environments, wow, the video looks amazing on the 8 Plus. Well, you still do get a lot of noise, but you can make out so much detail that you cannot on the 3GS. Not to mention the motion blur is just awful on a 30 frames per second video comparing it to a 60 frames per second. There's also the matter of optical image stabilization, which will only be getting better with the iPhone 10 with dual optical image stabilization, but wow, the color, clarity, and everything in low light is so much different. Now, in an actual well-lit shot with a lot of color, I was able to get some pretty impressive results even on the older iPhones, but just that much better results on the newer ones. The colors, the fruits, they just start popping more. Did I just say fruits? My vegetables. Yeah, you do get a huge difference here. Comparing it to the original, not as drastic of a difference as the low light shots, but still, it feels really muddy, really blurry comparing those. So this is in the daytime, as you guys can see. The differences are staggering. You can actually tell what color these are accurately. Getting in real close can actually focus and give you a good idea of what's going on. It is incredible what kind of a difference there is in between these. Alright guys, so there it is. That is the comparison of every model of the iPhone for the past 10 years all in one video. 17 iPhones. Oh my goodness. This was not easy, but I hope it was worth it, seeing the perspective that 10 years makes between these phones, even though it seems sometimes not much is changing. Please drop a like for my troubles on this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and stay tuned for the new one with the iPhone 10 here soon. Peace.